Good day, my yogi students. We are going to honor the sun today. It's going to be all about the sun salutation because, as you know, tomorrow, typically we would meet to do a 50-minute flow, but you're going to take that time and you could do it before and you are going to videotape yourself. You can use your phone, whatever you want to use. It doesn't have to be anything high tech. And you are going to show me that you have memorized the basic sun salutation flow. I want to show you real quickly. I sent this to you as a whole. This is the most basic sun salutation flow. And I know y'all can read, but the reason I chose this one is because I like how it's numbered. It shows that there's 12 poses that you flow through in the sun salutation. And it says here, good morning, be strong, be flexible, and be grateful. Wake up, greet the sun with this flow yoga sequence. And here it says in Sanskrit, sun salutation. So the Surne Namaskar, the Surya, I can't pronounce it very well, literally means sun. So we're honoring the sun. I also like what it says at the bottom, that you want to complete the sweet sequence at least 2 times through. And the reason being is one time you might lead with the right side leg and then the left. But I'll show you when you do your flow that you are going to be doing uh, in one flow, you'll have the right be forward in the lunge and then the left. And we'll talk about that. So let's go through the basics. The reason, again, that we do the sun salutation is to create heat, just like the sun. That's why it's called the sun salutation. It's literally meant to be done facing the sun outside. But you can do it anytime, anywhere. It is a simple flow. That's why I want you to memorize it so that you can have that tool that if you want to energize yourself in the morning, that you could go through that flow 1 time, 2 times, 3, 4, however many times you want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and use it today as our warm up to create that heat in our body. We're going to do it 2 times through the basic that I want you to do, showing you a little bit of variations. And then we also are going to do a couple of different sun salutation flows because there's a variety of different flows. Some of them are more advanced, and this is just the basic. So let's all start in our mountain pose, making sure those shoulders are down the back, your chest is lifted. Let's take some cleansing breaths here. I'm just going to put on some music. So we're taking that energizing breath. We're breathing in through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. So remembering that energizing breath, we want that inhalation to be a little bit longer than the exhalation. We're going to go into that flow. So sweep the arms up to the sky to extended mountain. Open the chest, palms are facing each other. From here, we're going to sweep our arms down to our forward fold. Let your fingertips line up with your toes. Let your head be heavy. We're going to step back with the right foot. So if you always say right in your flow, when you do your flow, you're going to be good to go. So we're lunging on the left side. Then bring the left to the right to that high plank. And then we have the option of bringing our knees down, then our chest, and coming up to cobra. Or we can do that chaturanga, where we lower down in that push-up and then come down. That's optional, whichever one you want to do. Into that nice cobra. We're going to bring the toes underneath, push back to your down dog. Let your head drop between your arms, and we can pedal those feet if we want. That's optional. You don't have to include that. Now we're going to take a big step forward with the right foot, or as many steps as it takes. Now we're lunging on the right side. So you notice that in one flow, I did the right and the left lunge. Then bring the left to the right, back to forward fold. Sweep the arms back up to the sky to extended mountain. And bring the hands to heart center. We're going to do that one more time. Again, I'm not worried about the terminology as long as you can get through the flow. And that's the word Vinasana means flow yoga, your breath with the movement. And that, again, creates heat warms the body up and prepares it for practice. So again, starting in strong mountain, sweep your arms up to extended mountain, arching back, gazing up towards your fingertips. Hinging from your waist, we're going to sweep our arms down into that forward fold. Again, if you need to bend your legs more, you need to make sure that your fingertips are touching at least, if not your whole hand, and they're lined up with your toes, fingers and toes lined up. Step back with the right foot into that left lunge. Bring the left to the right to high plank, pulling your belly button towards your spine, shoulder, elbow, wrist, or stack. Starfish fingers, and then lower yourself down, either way you want to do it, and scoop up into that strong cobra. Deep breath. The breath is flowing with the movement. Bring the toes underneath, push back to down dog. Let your head drop, press the heels down. Don't worry if they're not all the way down. Step forward with the right foot. So now we're lunging on that right side. And bring your left to your right, back to forward fold. Sweep the arms up to the sky, extended mountain, and hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and do it one more time through, remembering that you can go through your flow as fast or slow as you feel. I'm going to go through this time a little bit faster, but again, that will be optional. Starting in strong mountain, sweep your arms up to extended mountain, arching back. Sweep the arms down to forward fold. Step back with the right foot into left lunge. Bring the left to the right to high plank. Lower yourself down, scooping up into your cobra. Bring the toes underneath, push back to down dog. Step forward with the right to right lunge. Bring the left to the right, back to forward fold. Sweep the arms up to the sky to extended mountain, and hands to heart center. So again, going through a little bit faster, you're creating a little bit more heat, but again, however you want to do that. So from here, we are going to show some variations. If you look up sun salutation, you'll see that there is this basic one that I want you to flow through, but there are some variations that are a little bit more advanced. So we're going to go through it, and you can modify anything we do. All right, that's going to be up to you. But this is sun salutation they call B. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you from this side. We're going to start in that strong mountain once more. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out. And from here, we're going to come into chair pose. Sitting back in the heels. Deep breath. Feeling the strength through your legs. From chair, we're going to come to forward fold. And then we're going to do what's called a half lift. You're going to actually slide your hands up your shins and come more to a neutral back. And then come back down again to forward fold. Let's do that once more. We're going to slide up to half forward fold and then come back down. One more time, sliding up, coming back down. So from here, if you can, we're actually going to hop back into high plank. If you can't, step back, but it looks like this. So I hopped back into that high plank. Then I'm slowly going to lower myself down. And I'm going to bring my toes underneath and do what we call up dog. If not, you can do cobra. And then I'm going to bring my toes underneath to that down dog. I'm going to step forward with my right leg into warrior one. You all should know what that is. Ideally in warrior one, if you can, you want this leg parallel. Deep breath. Bring the hands back down. Come back to that high plank. Lower yourself down into that chaturanga or four limb pose. Come up to up dog. Bring the toes underneath to down dog. This time step forward with your left foot coming into warrior one on the left side. Deep breaths. Bring the hands down to frame the foot. Come back to that high plank. Lower yourself down to that forelimb, toes underneath. Up dog, so up dog. If you can, only your feet are touching. If that's too much, go to cobra. Bring the toes underneath to down dog. From here, you're going to take one big jump, if you can, to forward fold. Come back to chair. Back to forward fold. Let's do that half lift 2 times. So sliding our hands up the chin, our shins, and come back down. One more time. Come back to chair and release to mountain. Deep breath in and exhale, hands to heart center. All right, so one thing that we did twice in that sun salutation flow is what we call the Vinyasana flow. So you will go to a yoga class, more traditional yoga class, and the instructor will ask you if you want to take a Vinyasana flow or you can rest in child's pose. So it's kind of a break between. Some people need that break and they'll just go to child's pose. Other people will do Vinyasana flow. So when they say that, it's 4 things, just so you know. So Vinyasana flow looks like this, and do it with me if you can. You're in high plank. You're going to come down to chaturanga or 4-limb staff pose. You're going to bring your toes underneath, push up to that up dog. Bring the toes underneath to down dog. We're going to do that one more time. So if somebody doesn't want to do it, they just want to rest in child's pose, they can do that. So again, the instructor will go through a flow, and then there'll be a break where they'll say, you can do your Vinyasana flow, or you can rest in child's pose, your choice, because it is intense. So let's do that one more time. It's 4 poses: high plank, 4-limb staff pose or chaturanga. Toes come underneath to up dog, where you're just on the tops of your feet. Toes come underneath to down dog. And let's go ahead from here and slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Back to forward fold. And let's grab those elbows and gently rock from side to side. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly peel yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time until the last thing up is the crown of your head. Cleansing breath here. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out. All right, let's go ahead and practice some of our balance poses. Let's try our big toe hold. So root that foot, whichever leg you want to start with first. Make sure the knee is soft. So traditionally, you would use your peace fingers and your thumb, and you would grab your big toe. If that's not comfortable, you can actually grab the outside of your foot or above your ankle. Keep a nice steady gaze, and then you're going to try to extend that leg out as straight as you can and lift this arm up. If we need to go over to a wall for support, we are welcome to do that. Just doing the best we can, deep breaths. The more you practice, the easier the poses become, and the more that you get out of the poses. And shake it out. We're going to take that same big toe hold over to the other side. Go ahead and do that. Let's see who I have today. See, Bethany, Caitlin, Ashley. Thank you guys for joining me live here. Okay, are you guys did the other side? Big toe hold. Beautiful, and shake it out. So today when we come down, we're going to be doing pigeon pose. So we're going to do standing pigeon or 1-legged chair to prepare you for that. So root the right foot in, your left, my right if you're mirroring me. Knee is soft. Cross that other leg over. Make sure it's not on your knee, but your leg is resting on your thigh. Bring the hands to heart center, and you're going to sit down into, we call it standing pigeon or 1-legged chair. This is a really good stretch and pose for your deep muscle that comes from the glute, your piriformis, into the low back, which tends to get really tight. Deep breaths. We're going to hold for a few breaths here. Feel that sensation through the outer thigh, the glutes, the low back. And release, cleansing breath here. Deep breath in through the nose. All right. Great thing about yoga is you learn what side of your body has more balance than the other, and so then you can practice a little bit more on that side. So let's take it over to the other side. Bring that foot, knee is soft, cross it over, and then sit down into that one-legged chair. See, this side's a little harder for me. Or standing pigeon. Deep breaths. So those that have sciatic problems, this is a really good pose to do. You can also do it lying down on your back and lying on or sitting up or on the prone side too. So we'll show both today. And release, cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale out. Beautiful. So from here, let's go ahead and go through our warrior series, stepping out with the right foot into that warrior one. From here, we're going to do those cactus arms. Pull the arms down and extend up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Feel that warmth through the upper back. And then coming into your warrior two. Arms are parallel and active, reaching out as if your arms are raised to the sun. Reaching out, deep breaths. And let's add that bow and arrow flow. So pull that bow back and continue that flow. So exhale, pull back. Inhale, extend back to two. Got my native Indian music today. Beautiful. We're going to come back. Go ahead and come to our warrior one once more and play with that warrior three. Letting go of any judgment or expectations. Just doing the best we can today. And release. In that mountain pose, cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale out. And let's go ahead and take it to the other side into that strong warrior one. Make sure shoulders and hips are square to the front. Reach the arms up. Make sure the shoulders are out of the ears. Imagine you have a ball in your hands and you're dynamically pressing the hands together. Getting that dynamic tension. Go ahead and start those cactus arms, pulling down and reaching up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Imagine that you're kind of pulling down through honey or peanut butter, something that's really using that sensation of the muscles. And then come into warrior two. Deep breaths. Foot slightly turned in. And add that bow and arrow flow. Pulling back. Inhale, exhale. So the lower part of the body is very stable. Getting that dynamic tension. Whole body's working. Coming back to warrior one, and then coming into that warrior three. Go ahead and play with it. I'm just going to talk to you. So after you do this sun salutation flow for me, we're going to focus on the moon salutation. And then towards the end of the semester, you're going to put together your own yoga flow. So with that, you need to think about how things flow together. So for example, when I was just doing, and we were at warrior two, do you think it would be ideal to go right into three? From two? No, so that's why I come back to one and then I come into three because the transition is easier. So when you're putting your own flow together, I want you to think about how it flows together, even if you have to add something in between. All right, let's go ahead and take it down to a seated position. We're going to come right into that butterfly or bound angle and gentle rock from side to side. Inhale, exhale. And from here, we're going to do what we call seated cat-cow. So I want you to bring your hands to your shins. And I want you to arch your back and look up towards the sky. And then as you, oops, wrong way. Let's do that again. So we're going to do the cat here. So as your hands come forward, round your back to do that seated cat pose. Look to your belly button, scoop your belly in. And then as you inhale, you're going to bring your arms to the back, to your thighs, arch your back and look up. So I want you to breathe out, scoop your belly, hands come to your shins for your cat, and then inhale and come up, arching the back, gazing up, and continue that flow. Exhale, round, hands come to the shins. Inhale, arch your back, gaze up. So as you exhale, scoop your belly, look towards your belly button into cat. Inhale, arch your back, look up to the sky. One more time. Beautiful. Let's go right into our boat pose. Any variation that works for you today. Deep breaths. Strong core, creating that heat in your core. Release, and then we're going to come right into our wide boat. We have the options here. Deep breaths. Just doing the best we can. We fall, we try again. And release. From here, we're going to slowly lower ourselves down to that supine position. And once you're down, let's give those legs a nice hug. And let's rock from side to side. Inhale, exhale. Breathing out, breathing in. Taking it to legs up the wall. From here, let's rotate those ankles, circling one direction. And then switching directions. And from here, we're going to come into supine straddle legs. So open your legs up. Let them hang out to the side. You can take your hands and gently press out a little bit to feel a little bit more sensation in the inner thighs. Otherwise, just let them hang out there. Deep breaths. All right. So for my one pregnant student, go ahead and stay here because you shouldn't do any supine abdominal work. Otherwise, the rest of you can join me if you want. You're going to have your hands hovering over your legs. We're going to exhale. We're going to lift the upper back. The head comes along for the ride, scooping your belly, and then lower back down. So it's a little crunch. Exhale up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Keep going if you can. Working through that core. Remember, you don't want to lead with your head. Your head's along for the ride. So lift your back up as you bring your hands through the legs and then come down. Beautiful. Slowly bring those legs back up. And from here, we're going to do that supine figure 4 pigeon pose. So take your right leg, cross it over that left leg. Okay? The reason we call it figure 4 is your leg's making a 4 shape. Then you're going to take your right hand, bring it through the leg, and your left hand, try to clasp your fingers together. And if you can, you're going to lift your head, neck, and upper back. Really pulling in, feeling that same sensation that we did when we did the standing pigeon pose. So this is the supine. Go ahead and bend this leg down. And from here, we're going to take the arms out to a T, and we're going to flow with this. So bring your leg down so your foot touches, and then you're going to rock over to the other side. Inhale, exhale. Breathing out and breathing in. And you're going to take that one leg up again. And I want you to straighten your other leg. Keep it as straight as you can. Walk your hands up your leg. This is called nose to knee. Bringing it in, deep breaths. Feeling that nice stretch through the back of your leg. Some of you have tight hamstrings, so this is a really good pose to do. We're going to slowly release that leg down. And we're going to bring the other leg up. We're using our core as we lift our legs and the other leg back up. So we're going to take that pose over to the other side. So crossing the other way, clasping the fingers. If you want to feel a little bit more sensation, you can take your hand and press out a little bit and pull in, or we can try to come up and pull forward. Deep breaths. No pain in any joint, just feeling the nice sensation through the muscles. Release. Arms out in the T with palms down. Bring that foot down and then rotate. So just twisting through the torso, having that dynamic movement. And we're going to release, straighten this leg, other leg comes up. We're going to try to bring that leg in. So don't grab at your knee. You either grab below your knee or above your knee, depending on how it feels. And then you're going to pull, lift up, the upper back up. Bring your nose towards your knee. Deep breaths. Release, slowly lower that leg down. And we're going to bend our legs as we prepare for bridge pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your bridge up. Squeeze through the glutes. Strong bridge. And we're going to go into our flow. So from here, as you lower your bridge, bring your arms over your head with the palms up. And as you lift your bridge, bring your arms back down. Continue that flow, working at your own pace. Thinking about that full range of motion. Really lift that bridge up and then lower down, slow and controlled, one vertebrae at a time. Continue that flow. This is really good. We tend to use the front of the body so much that we forget that we need to work the back of the body. Holding that bridge up, coming to bound bridge if you want, lifting up a little bit higher, pressing through the heels. Deep breaths. And slowly release, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to give those legs a nice hug and rock from side to side to massage that lower back. And then from here, we're going to go right into that dead bug. Deep breath. Into your happy baby. Slowly release, and we're going to roll over onto your stomach into your prone position. So, when you're in a prone position, a way to remember supine, you're on your spine. Prone, you're on your pubic bone because you have a bone there. It's called your pubic bone. So if that helps you remember it, because you're going to have to know that for the test, the difference between supine and prone. We're in that nice Sphinx pose. Deep breath. From here, we're going to come up to our strong tabletop and go right into your cat-cow flow. So reminder that we want to exhale as we come into cat. Inhale as we arch into cow. Initiate the arching and the rounding from the bottom of the spine and then slowly roll all the way up to the cervical part of your spine. So try to initiate that flow from the bottom and roll all the way to the top. From here, we're going to go ahead and do that hover with the knees. So coming up on your toes, hover your knees, pull the abs in, deep breaths. We're going to lower back down, and we're going to come into a kneeling position as we're going to prepare for our pigeon pose. So I want you to step forward. I'm going to show you from this front with your right foot. So we're in that kneeling lunge position. From here, what you want to try to do is come down, and this front leg should be at a 90-degree angle if you can. So trying to get that straight line from the hip to your knee. So here you would stay, and the back leg, if you cannot straighten your back leg, you're actually doing it the back split. So your knees should be down. So it looks like this from this side. If that's too difficult, you can always come to this position. That is a variation of the pigeon pose. All right. So either that leg is straight with the knee down, or it can be slightly bent. Because the main thing is with the pose is we're getting through that piriformis, that deep glute, low back muscle that's deep down and you can't even touch it. It lies underneath the glute and the low back muscles. All right. Another variation is you can bring this foot in. So try that. If that feels a little bit more comfortable, you can bring that foot in. Either way, if it's out or in, we're going to try to exhale and lean forward into it. Put one hand on top of the other and relax your forehead on your hands into that full pigeon's pose. You're going to slowly come up, and we're going to press back to your down dog. Pedal your feet. And you're going to step forward, this time coming to kneeling lunge on the other side. And we're going to try that pigeon again. So again, bringing that leg down. If we can't do the back split leg, the back leg can be bent. But I want you to notice that I have this 90-degree angle here, and I can come down here, or I can bring the leg in. Either way you want to do it, we're going to try to come forward, one hand on top of the other, breathing into that pigeon's pose. And slowly release. We're going to press back to that down dog once more. Pedal the feet out. Coming into our hero's pose. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out. Slowly coming back to a kneeling position here. And we're going to do our extended camel. So feet can be flexed or extended. We're going to release back, open the chest, deep breaths. If you want to try full camel, you could do half camel by reaching back with one hand, or full camel, whatever works for you today, or stay with extended camel, deep breath. Open the chest. We're going to come back to tabletop and then come into your high plank. And I want you to step forward with your left foot. So from here, you can be in high lunge, or you can bring the knee down. Either way, we're going to twist. So keep that right hand down next to the left foot. Send that left arm up, twisting high lunge. All right, we're going to do what's called lizard. So this one's tricky. I'm going to show you from the front here. You're going to go ahead. You can put your knee down if you need to. Otherwise, you're going to try to come down here into that lizard position. Again, I have my leg up, but you can bring the knee down. Slowly come up to your hands here, and then try to bring this leg out a little bit. Feel that stretch through your inner thigh. Deep breath. Press back to that down dog. So this is where I might say, do your Vanasana flow, which I'll do right now, or you can go to child's pose to break before we do the other side. So I'm going to do Vanasana flow, high plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. And now I'm going to step forward with that right foot into the high lunge if you can, or you can bring it down. So with that lizard, I'm bringing both hands to the inside, and then I'm going to see if I can come down to my forearms. The knee can be up or down to the back leg. Deep breath. This is your lizard. Slowly come back to your hands and push this leg out a little bit. Feel that stretch through your inner thigh. Deep breaths. So from here, you can go into your child's pose or do your Vanasana flow, coming to high plank, down to four-limb stack pose, to up dog, to down dog. And let's go ahead and meet in extended child's pose, reaching out through your fingertips. Deep breath. And let's come into our easy seated position. Remembering if we want a pillow to prop ourselves up a little bit so that the hips are a little bit more open. Taking those hands on our knees, we're going to take it to that nice easy circle. Inhale as you start the circle, exhale as you finish. Eyes can be closed, nice and loose. And change direction, circle the other way. Inhale, exhale. Coming back to center. We're going to practice what we call nostril breathing. So what we're going to do, I'm going to come a little bit closer to you, and we're going to explain this, and then we're going to do it a couple times. So your this pointer finger and your middle finger, we call the kickstand. So you're going to put that on your forehead, all right? So what you're going to do is close your right nostril with your thumb, okay? And I want you to breathe in through your left nostril for 4. Close with your, what do you call this, ring finger, your left nostril. Open your thumb, the right side, and breathe out for 4 of the right side of the nose. And then again, you're going to breathe in through the right for 4. Close the nostril with your thumb. Exhale out the left side. Close the left. Inhale back. So try it again. Inhale through the right nostril for 4. Close it off with your thumb. Exhale out the left nostril. Close it off. Inhale through the right nostril, lifting the thumb. One more time. Inhale through the right. Close it off with your thumb. Exhale out the left for 4. Close that ring finger to the left side. And again. Nice job. All right. So we are going to use this rest of this time. I'm going to show you a challenge option. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the sun salutation one more time. Okay. So all you're doing, you can use your phone. You can use your laptop. You are going to video yourself doing your sun salutation flow for me. And you're going to submit that. All right. So we're going to go through it one more time. Again, don't worry about the terminology. I just want you to be able to flow through it. So starting in mountain, sweep the arms up to extended mountain. You want your palms facing each other. And you're going to arch back, gazing up to your fingertips to extended mountain. You're going to sweep your arms down, hinging from your waist into forward fold. Head is down heavy. Let it hang. Fingertips lined up with your toes. Don't worry if you have to bend your knees to have your fingertips touch. That's fine. Step back with your right foot into left lunge, making sure your knee does not go over your toe. Bring the left to the right into that high plank. Pull your belly button towards your spine. And then slowly lower yourself down. You can bring your knees down first if you need to, or come into that chaturanga or four-limb pose. Lower yourself down. Extend the feet into your cobra. Bring the toes underneath. Push back to your down dog. Don't worry if your heels don't touch. You can pedal your feet if you want. Step forward with your right leg into right lunge. Again, please make sure your knee does not go over your toe. Bring your left to your right, back to forward fold. Sweep the arms up to the sky, back into extended mountain, and hands to heart center. All right, good to go. All right, so our optional challenge today is either called, we call it a supported headstand, because the main thing is we have a forearm one, which is traditional with yoga that I have in my snapshot of this, where your arms are down, you're on your forearms, okay? And then we have a gymnastics type headstand where you're on your hands. So I'm going to show you both. You can always have the option, the wall is considered in yoga a prop. So you can use the wall, that you can face it so that when you bring your legs up, you don't fall over, okay? But remember, if you do, you want to tuck and roll. Or you can actually do the opposite, like I showed you with the handstand, be in your headstand and walk your feet up the wall facing it. But here nor there, I'm going to show you the traditional way is going to be down on your forearms, okay? You can be here, or this is how I like to do it, okay? So what I do is I make a fist with one hand, bring this hand around, okay? My head is going to be right at the tip of this triangle. But most of the weight, if I'm doing this right, is in my arms, not my head. That's why it's considered a supported headstand. My pregnant lady, this is not one for you. If you have any back issues, this is not a pose for you. Or if you're just not comfortable and you don't feel like you have the strength, that's okay too. This is an optional challenge. You do not have to do it, and I don't want you to hurt yourself. But I'm going to show you the supported one, okay? I'm going to come down. I want to make sure I'm equal distance. So I'm going to do this when I come down, and then I'm going to come here, okay? And my head's going to lie in there, all right? So I'm in this position, and then you want to try to control your way up and see if you can hold it. You can bring the legs out and come down, okay? Now, if it's easier, if you're a gymnast, a gymnastics headstand is fine too. So with that, your hands are open. So you're on your hands and your head, but you want to, again, keep the weight in your hands, and you want to create a triangle, if this makes sense. So your head should not be right between your hands. Your hands are the two tips of the triangle, and your head is the very tip of the triangle. Okay, so when you're doing it, your head's up here, your hands are here. So you're creating that tripod. Okay, so weight is distributed. So that way looks like this. I'm going to put my hands down. My head is at the tip of the triangle. I can come here and maybe just hold that, or I can try to push all the way up. But a lot of the weight is in my hands, and it takes a lot of good core strength too. All right, so if you want to try any one of those versions, if you're able to, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing your guys' videos, your yoga flows. I want you to have a fit and happy day. Namaste. And we're going to end with one of my favorite mantras that I like to say is to have a healthy and happy day with a strong mind and body. Let go of worry, doubt, and control, and embrace positive energy. Thank you for attending live with me. Have a fit, happy day. Peace out.